Hey everybody. Before we get started, Chris and I just want to express our deepest condolences and our deepest sympathies to everyone affected by the bombing in Manchester a few nights ago. We had just wrapped up recording when we saw what had happened, and it's a terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy. And so we just want to express sympathy, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families and anyone affected by this tragedy. And so with that being said, we're going to roll on into the show. Thanks.
Hi, this is Diane.
And this is Denise of the History Goes Bump podcast.
And you're listening to Is This Adulting Podcast. Denise, we need to pull up our big girl pants. Get off our lawn.
This is always the worst part. Hey everybody, and welcome.
Hey everybody, and welcome.
I hate you so much, you son of a bitch.
Oh God, I needed it. Oh God, I needed it. Oh, we're keeping this in. Yo, so just so everybody knows, every single time he takes a deep breath before starting the thing, and I knew it, so I was just waiting.
I hate you so much.
Oh God, oh, that feels so good.
God, that's bonus
that
episode quality. What we just did.
Oh gosh. Oh, let's just welcome people to the dang show. Oh,
all right.
Man.
I'm not even going to go into the voice. Hey everybody, and welcome to Is This Adulting, a weekly conversation between two best friends navigating adulthood as overgrown man-children. Clearly, I'm best friend number one, Stephen Pappas.
And I'm your worst nightmare, Chris Grimmett. Just joking. I'm your best friend. I'm the second one.
You leave that. Well, okay, that was super super different way of starting the show. Everybody's going to freak out. I'm really glad that they've come accustomed to this quality, and now all of a sudden there's going to be just yelling and screaming.
Oh, gosh. All right. Sorry.
Okay, so before we get started, I mean, aside from mental health and things we're going to talk about, have you had a good week? How have things been? What's been up?
Well, we'll get into the health-related stuff in a second, so I'll hold off on that.
Right.
Let's see here. I do have one crazy thing to tell you about.
Okay.
So much so that this easily could be the title of the show, just because this is such a crazy situation. So I encountered an individual yesterday, and I was talking with them, and they started talking about this place that is an actual place in North Carolina. And so they're describing it, and I thought it was a restaurant or something, and then I recognized this town, it's not, I don't think it's their official name, but because they don't have an official name, but their unofficial official name is, are you ready for this, Stephen?
Yes.
Greasy Corner. And they said that, and I went, oh, so it's a restaurant, right? And they're like, no, that's what it's called. And I went, who in the hell would want to live in Greasy Corner? So I know that's a small thing, but I can't stop thinking about Greasy Corner and who lives there and what does it look like? I just imagine that everyone takes all of their greasy related things and just puts it in this one part of the town. That's all I can imagine.
See, and I'm Greek, so I'm picturing just a bunch of Greek people that have this segment of a town that belongs to them. When you say Greasy Corner, I'm picturing like a theme park of Greece.
As in the popular musical, because that's what I'm thinking of. No. I'm thinking of right now what's his name, Danny
John
Zuko
Travolta?
or whatever.
Danny
I'm
Zuko,
thinking the actual name, Danny Zuko and Sandy, and they're just over there in the corner we da na 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 bam bam na 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 da ping da pong.
That's good.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't know the words to the song.
Those are the good words, and then you fly off into space in a car. God, that's That's a
So
confusing.
yeah, that's what I'm
movie.
imagining. That or just like there's one like part of the like city where people really don't like other people with greasy hair, and so they've moved them all into this one like residential area. So yeah, I don't know, but I just had to share. I can't stop thinking about Greasy Corner. I want to create a tourism ad for them. And here's my number one like advice to Greasy Corner. Change your effing name.
Yes.
It's called Greasy Corner. I'm sorry. How has your week been?
It's been interesting. we'll get into that.
Tell me some fun stuff.
I don't come with any fun stories, man. I'm going to share kind of a fun story when we do the mental health check-in, but other than that, I've had a really
So you're just gonna have like a
fairly
long
dull
pause.
week.
You're gonna say, hey, tell me about. Before we get into the mental health stuff, let's get into some just fun stuff. Hey, what are you doing? And you don't even come with a story, dude. What you doing?
Well, no, because the thing was, I didn't know if you were going to come with a story, and now I think we've gone too long to try to cram in. I was going to revisit something that we mentioned.
So uncomfortable. Okay, just keep talking. Oh, if professional people are listening to this, I'm sorry. Ooh,
Well, no, I'm just sitting there going, okay. I was going to try to vamp about something that we touched on a few weeks ago, which is you went to a German opera, but you said it's a long story, and now that we've talked about Greasy Corner, I don't know if there's time.
Well, let me just give you the quick rundown.
Tell me how that happened.
Had a friend whose brother was like the stage creator, like and they created all the set stuff for the actual opera.
That's what they're called,
and
stage creators. That's
stage create. Okay, don't hate on me.
Set
I think
designer?
it's a pretty awesome. Set designer or stage creator. One sounds just like okay, you're an assistant. The other sounds like you literally birthed this from your womb. I want stage creator is what I want. Anyway, so he's a stage creator. Not hashtag copyright Chris Grimmett. Also hashtag copyright Chris Grimmett. Just I'll make sure both of them are locked down. Yeah. So because of that, it's actually a mutual friend of ours. She asked me and my wife like, hey, so what's the chances that like you want to go with us? Because it's in our city that we live in, and we were already going to get lunch or dinner with them, and they're just like, hey, you just want to kind of go with us? And I was like, I mean, there's no other time in my life I'm going to go to a German opera, so I might as well go for it. And the highlights of it were you had to read subtitles the whole time. It was super confusing. There were some funny parts to it. Other parts did not make sense to me at all. And the finale was a man dressed like the Burger King, and it was the best moment of my entire life. And everyone was like having serious like tears because they were so moved by it. And I'm over here just being like, y'all are crying at the Burger King. Why are we doing this? So that's my long story short of some crazy stuff that happened. But that's just me being a casual fan of the German operas, you know. I'm pretty sophisticated. Puff puff of my cigarette. That's what you do, right? That's what all the cool
that's
kids
exactly
did?
how you do. P.S. You said crying at the Burger King. If I had a nickel for every time I spent like a moment in my life crying at the Burger King,
I wonder how many people have cried at Burger King. Well, we have really gotten off topic here.
We really have. This one's off the rails. Anyway, before we get into everything, bit of housekeeping.
Okay.
First off, I want to say thanks to Diane and Denise from History Goes Bump podcast for the audio drop at the beginning of the episode. Also want to thank our new patrons, the History Goes Bump podcast, and Rachel for their support over on Patreon. Thanks to everybody for sharing the show. We've actually over doubled our downloads from last month doing half the episodes that we released. So that is really incredible to see. And the Facebook group is growing, The Best Friends. Go check it out. And it has been really, really cool. Really cool. Aside from today where I feel like we all were kind of in a funk and we all told each other like, I'm having a rough day. Like, let's talk about it, which is really good. And so kind of in that same vein, we're going to start off this week just like we do every week with our mental health check-in. So this is going to be a big one, I have a feeling. Chris, how you doing this week?
Oh, my goodness, y'all. So, a little peek behind the curtain. So for this previous Thursday's episode, we kind of had to record it. We had to kind of go around just on schedule, so it ended up being a little bit earlier than we usually do. And so it's been like a week and a half or so since we've recorded. And, when I was telling you it had sucked then, oh man, if I could go back to that youthful ignorance of just a week and a half ago. Oh, how I thought the world was full of rainbows and butterflies and little Tweety birds. Oh, everything was so good compared to what this week on hell has been. No joke, y'all. It has been. Not only has it been bad, like if I'm being completely real with you, like, so bringing back the whole Facebook group that we have, the Is This Adulting Best Friends, like it's really like a moving thing to be a part of, and I'm really bad with social media, so I hope that you know that I am listening and I am attempting to like or comment here and there, but I mean Stephen can attest to this. I'm really bad at it.
He is.
But
He does care.
Yeah, I do really care, but I hope that y'all know, like, I have been wanting to put something on Facebook, but I've been in such a bad place that, like, to even try and put it into words honestly was emotionally difficult. Like, I mean, I'm getting as real as I can right now. Like, this week has been horrible, and I know I've kind of been like being super broad this last couple weeks of why, and I have to continue to be broad about that for a little bit longer. I can go into it hopefully in the next couple weeks, kind of explain some more, but yeah, if y'all can, the same way I'm trying to keep all of you in my thoughts and prayers, I hope the same could be done for me, because it has just been really, really bad. I mean, Stephen, you've talked to me quite a bit in these last couple of days, and I think you can kind of attest to, like, it's been rough.
No, I've been concerned. Like, when you call me, I'm just like, ooh, he sounds just defeated.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been much harder than usual. And there's a lot of different reasons to it. It's some days it's more stress, some days it's like anxiety and depression kind of combined into one. Some days it's sad, sometimes it's angry. Like it's just been a constant just overwhelming many couple days. Like, no joke, since our last recording, which has only been a week and a half, like I've had multiple panic attacks. Again, just to remind you, out of the two of us, the two best friends that record this podcast, I'm not usually the one that's having the panic attacks. Like I said, that's just a reality.
That's my brand.
I've only had a couple. Yeah, I've only had a couple, and now I'm trying to give Stephen a run for his money because I've had a lot lately. And I've never really had these before, so it's kind of like an overwhelming thing, especially if you've heard about them but not really experienced them. And until you've experienced it, you just can't fully know, like, oh God, like, this is different than in the past, the type of anxiety I felt. And so it has been real bad. I mean, the best way to explain to you how I felt is I felt like I've spent a week and a half at Greasy Corner. That's the only way I can explain it in a short, concise way. But not the musical kind, just the grease area that I have to sit in. I don't really know what that means. That sounds even grosser than Greasy Corner somehow. So I apologize. But yeah, so I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But yeah, it has been really, really rough. And so I hope that y'all know the people who've been talking in the Facebook group and kind of, I mean, both sending Randy goofy videos, but also like serious things, and like sharing parts about your life. Even if I have not been commenting on, I just want you to know I appreciate it. And I bet you there are other people like me out there that aren't at a place where they feel confident enough to put that out there. But just seeing other people be vulnerable and share that, like, is a healing thing in itself, and it really does mean something. So I appreciate for everyone who's been confident and bold enough to be able to share that, and for those of you who haven't but have enjoyed it or would just like to kind of experience it and observe it for a while until you kind of feel safe, I get where you're coming from. So that's the calmest way I can try and break down without probably bursting out in tears, truthfully, of just trying to relive what's been a rough week, or week and a half or whatever. But how about you, man? About the same? Any good stuff? What's going on?
I'm a roller coaster this week, man.
A roller coaster.
There's been, yeah, I know, exciting. There's been good. There's been bad. Some of the highest highs, some of the lowest lows.
You take them both, and there you have the facts of life. Is that what you're trying to get at right now? Sorry,
it is.
I'm not trying to interrupt you, but you literally said half of the beginning theme song of the facts of life.
Did.
One of my favorite.
I'm sorry. I set myself
growing up
for
on Nick and Night. So keep going, roller coaster man.
No, you are all good. Yeah, no, I had an up and down week. You know, I had good days, I had bad days. Today, for instance, is like the worst day I've had in a long time. my anxiety has kind of disappeared, which is kind of awesome. I know it's going to come back, but I think I conquered it briefly last night, which I'll talk about in a second. But today, I think after that small victory with the anxiety, it's like the depression decided, oh, okay, well, now it's my turn. I'm going to move in. And that's not something I've dealt with really where I felt it and really been able to acknowledge that I felt it since, January.
Yeah.
And so that has really sucked. I've been in a funk, but having that group on Facebook has been really good today. Just making jokes and being supportive and talking it out with me. We've had some really cool things happening with the podcast, which we can't really talk about right now, but we will get into when we can. And that's really exciting. And yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic because I had one of the biggest victories, if not the biggest victory, with my anxiety that I have had since all this started, which is last night. I went to a concert at a music venue in Charlotte. It wasn't like a stadium, which would have probably been better because it's more people, but it's like seats and you cram. No. We went and stood 4.5 hours in the pouring rain with no umbrella. Got soaked standing outside.
It sounds
this
more
venue.
Romantic in your head. It's and we not stood romantic. Out in the pouring rain. But then you're like, no, you're just sitting in a line for 4 hours and it was freezing. Peed on, basically.
It was bad, dude. It was freezing.
Okay, maybe not peed on. I made that weird, but
man, we're gonna re-record this whole episode.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Can you tell we are both like way out of it this week?
Yeah, you're gonna have to be real extra forgiving to us this week.
Yes, we've forgotten what it's like to do it without a guest. No, and so we stood outside for 4.5 hours, which was a test in itself, getting rained on, which was another part of that test. But we got inside, and I am one row back from the stage, and I am crammed in with 2,500 people, which is my nightmare. And I did it. I saw the show. I sat through the show. There are loud noises. There are lights. Everything that should set me off was going down, but I did it, and I held it together. I didn't freak out a bit, not even once.
That's awesome, man.
Which is weird. I assumed I would be freaking out way, way more.
Yeah,
but it was great, and it was fun. And who I went to see was a band. It is a YouTube comedy band called Ninja Sex Party, who a lot of people like do have the exact reaction.
They got their start in Greasy Corner.
They have the same reaction as Chris did, and laugh. But like, if it weren't for that band, and I've emailed them and told them this, like if it weren't for them, I don't think I would have made it through my dad's death and like all this stuff. They really just, their stupid, silly, vulgar humor, something about it stole my heart and kind of picked me up. And when I was really down, brought me back. And so it was cool. It kind of felt like they brought me down from so many panic attacks. It finally felt like some sort of culmination of something, like actually going and seeing them, and seeing how loving and caring they are to their fans, who a lot of whom are young. And, I posted a video in the group. They gave a speech the other night because we lost Chris Cornell this past week to suicide, singer from Audioslave and Soundgarden. And that was really unfortunate. And so they gave, a bit of a speech at the end of their first show after that saying like, look, there's no reason to kill yourself ever. Like, you have resources, people you can reach out to. If you're sick, find help. If you need support, find that support. And they end their show the same way every week, which was really cool, which is they offer two things. And that is, try to live your life, love everyone, forgive everyone. And for both of those, especially yourself. And so I left there with like some positive vibes. I was soaking wet. I was freezing. And it took everything in me to hold it together the whole night, which is probably why today was so rough, is I was just drained.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time to slow down. But aside from the really high and the really low, it's just been kind of a normal week for me. So, yeah, I was going to kind of do that. And
that's great, man.
That was a really long mental health check-in for us. So
hey, that's okay.
We actually have a listener mental health check-in as well. I don't have a name for this person. Would you like to do the honors this week?
Sure. We are going to go with Jeffrey Hairy Toes. That was about as bad as I could have come up with.
Okay, I guess it is anonymous to you. I typically do try to go, if it's a female, with a female name. But no, we're going to go with Jeffrey Hairy Toes.
Hey, we're gender fluid here, man. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so I'm going to try to pronounce this first word just so you know, as well as I can. But this person wrote in and said, trichotillomania is also referred to as hair pulling disorder, which makes it way easier to understand than the crazy T word. It's associated with OCD and anxiety. My first bout with trich was in the 6th grade. The stress of being awkward, overweight, and 11 years old, trying really hard to be cool, was relieved somewhat by the sensation of pulling my hair. I pulled hair out along my part, and once my part got to be around 1/4 of an inch wide, my mom noticed and freaked out, which didn't make me feel any better. I felt like a nuisance, difficult child, but pulling my hair relieved some of my additional stress. I had another trich episode during my senior year of high school. I remember it clearly. I would pull during my German class in the afternoons, and my hair would surround the desk by the end of the period, although I was trying to do it secretively. I would then have stress dreams that people thought I was a freak because my hairline would keep moving backwards, and it was my own fault. And the way that I relieved that stress? You guessed it, pulling more hair. When leaving for college, I felt that it might be susceptible to another episode, so I cut all my hair off. I haven't had an episode in a while, but I know that I'm one big transition or stressful event away from giving myself another bald patch. I feel most supported when people are willing to listen and hear my struggles without passing judgment, and it's also incredibly helpful for me to hear that I'm not weak in asking for help or seeking out others in the form of counseling. And that is something we try to get across here all the time, really, is seeking help does not make you weak.
Totally.
Seeking help makes you strong.
Yeah, totally.
That's something I struggled with for a long time.
Something that, if you don't mind, for me just to kind of like clear up real fast.
Sure.
Because I totally think that if I was listening, I'd probably have caught this. So I actually don't know who wrote this at all. I honestly hadn't even read the listener check-in. Stephen, I try if I can when Stephen's picking them out just to kind of accept it in the moment. And so one thing, can I just say thank you for sharing that? Like, I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry that you have to constantly fear that episode might come back. And so I want to thank you for that. That's tons of bravery and vulnerability. And 2, I think it'd be stupid to not address, so I just happened to come up with that stupid name.
Yeah.
And like I said, so I just want you to know, from a sensitivity standpoint, I literally had not even looked at it. I purposely do not look at them, and so it's just an unfortunate coincidence that happened. And so for whoever this listener is, I still don't know. I just want to let you know, anyone else hearing that, I do sincerely apologize, and I'm glad that this is a safe space that both we can share that, and at the same time we can also acknowledge when we mess up, because I think that's part of it too, especially when talking about mental health. So I just wanted to give that little caveat just so everyone was kind of aware.
Absolutely. And as always, if you have a mental health check-in you'd like to share or an idea of how we can encourage you throughout the week, email us over at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com. We've been getting a lot of emails over there with check-ins, or join us in the Facebook group, the Is This Adulting Best Friends, and share in there. It's becoming a really powerful thing. And so confronting your mental illness is something that's extremely important to overall mental health. We've decided that we're periodically going to address our issues. We've done it here once before. Here at Is This Adulting, we've decided to refer to our illness as Karen, because we all know a Karen who's just a little too Karen. So this is a segment we're calling Dear Karen. We hope you enjoy, as Chris reads a letter that he composed to get a few things off his chest to the embodiment of his own anxiety, Karen. Take it away, Chris.
Let's see if I can do this. Dear Karen, you son of a... Nope, hold on. Let me try that again. Start a little angry. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Dear Karen, you piece of... Nope, sorry. You see what I did? I thought I was good. I'm still really upset with Karen right now, so I'm going to try it one more time, all right?
You got this.
Here we go. Dear Karen, every time that I think I'm starting to make progress, every time I'm just about to feel an ounce of confidence again. There you are. You show up everywhere, all of the time. Whether it's at work and it's with that passive-aggressive comment that I get from someone, whether it is a post on Facebook where I see someone I know, and instead of me feeling good for them, it honestly just kind of makes me feel worse. Karen, you know how to hit all of the right buttons to make even the best of days just kind of feel bad. I have been unable to stop thinking about you lately because you have, like most douchebags do, not let me. I can't sleep well at night. I get distracted easily, all because you just won't leave me alone. But at the same time, there's been something good about not being able to get you off my mind. And it's that I get to start thinking about how I'm going to get you to stop. Not altogether, of course. I mean, I'm not trying to be greedy about it. But at least enough to have you calm down some. To not fill up my days and nights with you. So Karen, I will admit, lately you have been on your A game. You have been impossible to avoid. But I've started to realize that I'm not alone in this. That I have people who are there for me. People that you try and haunt as well. They know your tactics just as much as I do. And they've helped me come to realize that I'm strong. And that even though there are times where you're definitely going to get one on me, that I'm going to be able to have the last laugh. So I see that you're on your A game, but I'm going to raise you one. I'm going to start fighting back. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm at least going to start taking care of myself better. I'm going to keep reminding myself that even when you are in my head pointing out all of my insecurities, that with all due respect, Karen, you are full of shit. I'm going to start getting out. I'm going to start going on walks, laughing at shows on Netflix, and I'm going to remind myself that I'm a good person, even when you have done your best to tell me that I'm not. So it won't be easy, but it's not just me who's doing it. You better get ready because I'm not the only one coming for you. So are some of my best friends. So I'll give you a head start, but just know that I'm coming. And when I find you, I'm definitely going to punch you in the teeth. Warmest regards, Chris.
So, when you said write a Dear Karen letter, you should have told me, man. I wrote like a Dear Karen 3 sentences. You wrote a letter.
Dude,
that's how you do it.
I don't think you understand, man. I had to get some stuff. You asked, like, do you want to write the Dear Karen letter? I was like, yes, I want to write that letter.
Oh, no, I think you should have this week.
Yeah, because that is the best way that I can explain a really, really rough week. But
well,
speaking of rough weeks, I don't know about you, but some of my roughest weeks have been after I've had to spend some time in the restroom after the topic that we're going to talk about today.
Oh, my God. Your segues are great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just love that we acknowledge our segues every week and how bad they are.
Oh, exactly.
But, all right,
they're terrible.
so here's a topic that I've been wanting to talk with you about for a while. It just kind of came to my head one day. I want to hear your thoughts on buffets. I mean, just in general, I want to hear your thoughts on buffets because, so just to give you like a rundown, my mother hates them with every possible fiber in her body. She thinks they're the most disgusting, gross thing in the entire world. And I am on that other end of the spectrum most of the time, where at least for most of my life, I've been like, I don't care what happened to that food. Give me 18 piles of mac and cheese, please. I mean, that's just kind of how it's been. But I kind of want to just talk to you about that. I had some different like thoughts, and I just wanted to see at the beginning, what are your thoughts about buffets?
Well, I think my thoughts have kind of changed over time.
Yeah, okay.
I'm less pro buffet than I used to be.
Okay.
Just because I can't eat as much as I used to, and I used to take pride in going to a buffet and challenging a friend of ours from college, and challenging James to an eating competition across the table to see who could eat the most plates of food. He would always win. My record was 8, and he took me down every time. But like now I go to the buffet, I get a plate of food, I top out maybe 1.5 plates, and then I'm just like, well, I've wasted my money because they're extremely expensive. The only time they were affordable is when we went in college. They had college night there in Boone at the Golden Corral up there, and we would go there every once in a while, the 4 roommates from the house we lived in, and we would just gorge ourselves on Golden Corral food, and we always regretted it afterwards, but it was fun.
And we always did, and we really only regretted it for like the next 6 hours or so, and then after that it was worth it again. But all right, so now that we've talked about our basic opinions before we go in deeper, I'm bringing back a fan favorite. Are you ready for it?
I am ready. What's up?
Buffet fact.
Oh, buffet facts, great.
I'm actually going to start off with 2, because first of all, if you Google facts about buffets, or literally anything close to buffets, there's pretty much nothing except for a list of articles and research telling you how horrible and dangerous they are for you.
Right.
So let me just let you know, I was really excited about buffet facts, and then I got pretty disappointed in the first couple of minutes of looking when it just made me feel bad. But I did find 2 that I was happy about. I'll start with 1, and then we'll keep going. 1, in 1960, like in the 1960s, when buffets, they were around before that, but when they started getting really popular, guess how much the average price for a buffet was?
1960? $1.25.
Well, okay. Freaking like mind reader. It was $1.50.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Because I'm a great guesser.
Apparently so, but I'm sitting there thinking like, gosh, if I could pay $1.50 for a buffet, I'd be going every single day. Oh my gosh, that's so much food for $1.50. And I know inflation. I get it. I know, but still, I saw that and I was just like, oh my goodness, I love it. Which was making me think like, what was the normal price in the 60s for like food? I feel like it still wasn't that cheap, but whatever. That's my first fact. I'll come back with one more later. But so we talked about a little bit about cost, because I think cost is a pretty big deal.
But that's not true of all buffets. I want to jump in here and say,
okay,
let's think about some other buffets. Let's think about your CC's Pizza.
Oh, that's true.
Pizza buffet, $5.99. I mean, when we were on our first anniversary trip, I guess last year, we were like, well, we're going to a really nice restaurant for dinner. We need something super affordable. And we were like, I don't really want to do fast food, though. Well, there's the CC's, and it's calling our name. And so we go there because it's affordable. It's garbage pizza, but it's affordable.
Yeah, and that is true. I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm. And where do Chinese buffets fall in all this? There's so many places we could go that we just don't have time for.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Chinese buffets, at least in my personal experience, have left me. I don't know if I've ever felt more religious than when I was sitting on the toilet after a Chinese buffet, asking, "Dear God, let this be over."
We have become a real toilet humor podcast, haven't we?
I'm not even trying. Lately we've just been going there. But okay, so let's get off that then. Okay, so we talked about the cost factor. I have 2 other main questions I want to ask you about this. First of all, let's go into the other main factor. For you, what is the gross factor? Like, when is gross too gross?
I mean, I'm starting to reach a point where anything where I'm getting my food from a place where there's a sneeze guard, might be a little gross. Like, and the kids are running up, and the buffets are tall, but they can still get their hands in there, and you don't know, dude. Like,
there's not a sneeze guard for the little babies that are just trying to reach up there, and they're just sneezing directly horizontal into the food.
Exactly. And like, I don't want any part of that. Like, I don't know. I've fallen out of love with buffets, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I did a little bit of research when I was looking for facts, and I really shouldn't have, because I began to start fearing for my life to even walk into a Golden Corral. But like, you start thinking about, all right, not most people, but a lot of people in this world do not wash their hands when they go to the bathroom. And you begin to start thinking, in the buffet, is there anything that doesn't have a utensil that you have to pick up in order to get your food? And you start thinking like, oh my gosh, what combination of things have I just entered into my immune system?
Right. It's like a freaking hotel room, dude. You don't want to think about it.
Exactly. But so maybe I'm going to say something here that's a little controversial, but I'm still not that grossed out by it. Like I know this is weird.
Okay.
But okay.
Let me say
you have
something,
a comment?
though.
Okay, let me hear it.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is coming from Chris Grant, who is the same person who, when my father had open heart surgery 5 years ago, came to entertain us in the waiting room while we waited during his surgery, dropped a goldfish on the hospital floor, which is by far the scariest place in the world, and then picked it up and ate it, to which my aunt to this day still like has nightmares about.
She is so, y'all, no joke. I just saw her not that long ago, and I still think that she's concerned that I'm carrying medical like diseases.
Yes, you're carrying some sort of super virus that can't be killed.
Okay, hey, pause. Before I want to talk more about buffets, but I do need to. The way you just described that situation at the hospital, you just said like I came to entertain you. What like
you did?
I
dude.
walked in. I walked in with puppets and said, "Hey everyone, welcome for a show."
No, you walked in with a Mary Poppins bag full of board games and crossword puzzles and everything, and took them out and threw them around, and you were laughing and causing everybody to get their mind off it. That's entertaining.
Seriously, yeah, that's a much better description than I came and brought my karaoke machine and decided just to sing you a few diddles. Like,
I would have loved that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you would have. But okay, let's get back into the gross facts. So,
yes,
like,
buffets.
for me,
tell me more.
For me, I've got this approach that I don't think is right. I'm gonna admit it. I think I'm wrong here. But I kind of just fall into to that philosophy of, you know what? We don't even know the disgusting things we eat on a regular basis. And we're still alive and kicking, and so let's just embrace what it is. And let me get some of that sweet fried chicken that probably has been touched by your pee-pee hands. It's not like I'm looking for it, but hey, even Kentucky Fried Chicken has 23 secret spices. So I'm okay. That was stupid, but
I don't think it's 23. I think that's Dr. Pepper has 23 flavors.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think KFC has like 9 secret spices.
I've been imagining the Colonel all these years being like secret 1, secret 2, secret 3.
Well, that's how they do it. Even the fry cook, like that's what he's doing too. Like, and the one.
Hey, Jeff, what's that box in there? It's my box of secrets. Get the hell out of here. That's. I mean, I'm okay. I'm making this chef a little bit more rough than it needs to be. Sorry. Okay, we're really getting off topic again. Let's go back to the final thing I wanted to ask you about buffets. Is what is your strategy for going into a buffet? Because everyone's got their strategy. Some people, and I'm going to be honest with you, those people are rookies, and they're making some rookie mistakes. They're going in hot and heavy, and they're like, well, you know what? I need to start off with a salad since I'm going to be eating unhealthy.
No.
What are you? That is just wasting tummy space. You can get that crouton out of here. Actually, you can eat the croutons. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
but the rest of
starch.
it, no. Get those leaves out of here. No, I'll eat a leaf on a different day. I came to eat 25,000 calories.
Right.
No, I don't
I'm
have
with
time
you.
for that.
That's
So I don't
that's a
hear what's
rookie
your
mistake.
strategy.
No, I mean, my strategy is to immediately go for the hot bar.
Okay.
Immediately move into, barely any proteins that aren't fried.
Yep.
All starch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that mac and cheese and those rolls
yeah.
and even that crappy pizza that they keep on the one side.
Mm-hmm.
The only proteins I'm eating are like fried fish and maybe some chicken strips.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after that plate gets taken down, then I go back and get some vegetables maybe, but I got to make sure if I save room for dessert because they got that sick-ass dessert bar over there.
You know they do, and they got every freaking piece of candy that has been made. And I want all those M&Ms. I want all those cookie dough bites. I want all those cheesecake bites. I want pretty much anything that ends with bites on there, except for mosquito bites, which I don't really know how that would be something, but I kind of went on a tangent there. But I want everything on that ice cream. Now, are you going plain vanilla? Are you going chocolate? Or are you going mixed on the soft serve? You're going swirl? Or
I'm a swirl, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and I think people might go at me for this. I'm a little bit afraid to admit it. I hate chocolate ice cream.
That's all right. So does Katie.
Okay, good. So it's not too crazy if you think. Like, I hate chocolate ice cream. I am all about, you give me that vanilla base, and then I'm going to put 15 pounds of chocolate in that vanilla base. So it's pretty much chocolate ice cream. But there's just something about it. It's just a little bit too rich for me for some reason. But so that's your strategy. Okay, I would say mine's pretty similar. I will say, I don't know what it is. Like, mac and cheese is probably one of the cheapest things on the, like, that they had to make, yet for some reason that's always my go-to. Like, I'll go in, I go straight for the mac and cheese, and then I'll get some fried chicken usually. Then I'll start like branching out. I used to get the pizza like you're saying, but I've started to feel like that's just a waste because it's really not good pizza. It never is,
not.
and that's not just
Cafeteria
Golden
quality.
Corral. That's any buffet that I've been to. And so I feel like that's just you're really the same way that you're wasting calories on chewing those leafy bits, aka the salad bar. I would say the same is true for the pizza. I'm not into that, and so I'm saving. I will say this though, if we're going to Golden Corral, there is one thing that I know is just filling up space, but there is no way I'm not getting, and that are those sweet, sweet yeast rolls.
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness. I just want, when I see the fresh yeast rolls come out from Golden Corral, and I see that the chef, and they're walking out with that pan, and I just see that beautiful, beautiful steam just coming off the yeast rolls bodies. I made that sound creepy. That's not what I was going for.
That's all right.
I just immediately want to kiss that person straight on the mouth and say, do you realize that you've done a great service to your country today? And then I take 17 yeast rolls, and here's my thing with yeast rolls. I scoop everything up in it. Well, I mean, not like the fried chicken, but anything that is somewhat liquidy based is getting some of it on the yeast roll, and it is so good. So I think we're pretty similar when it comes to our strategies, which might be the reason why we are both larger kids.
Yeah, that's fair. I think so. Maybe that's why I'm losing weight, is because I haven't eaten at a buffet in okay,
gosh.
It's been like a month if we're counting CC's.
We need to go to it. We need to do an on-site recording in the Golden Corral. Oh, I think that would be an amazing thing.
The very first live investigative report.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
I'd be
that
down
no
for
one
that.
wants to listen to. All right, finally,
That'll
we're
be a
going to close this
Patreon
off
exclusive.
with. Oh, that would be good. I got one more. But I probably said yeast fact. That's
yeast
disgusting.
fact.
Oh my god. Oh gosh. I'm back in Greasy Corner.
No,
Okay,
it's okay.
I'm good.
It's okay. Come back.
Okay. Final buffet fact. The largest buffet in the world was organized in this place in India in 2010. The food was prepared by this very famous chef for a very large crowd. I'm going to give you a number, and you're going to tell me if it's over or under this number. 4,000 different dishes. Over or under 4,000 dishes?
Over.
Oh, you're right. It was 5,612 different dishes. What? I didn't even know there were that many types of food. What? Like, I feel like that chef was getting super, super desperate. Like, mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, baked potatoes. Like, I don't know how in the world the chef got to 5,612. But that is the largest buffet in history, according to Guinness Book of World Records. So, I'm done with my buffet facts. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it. Hey, we'll do a meet and greet sometime if people want to come and eat buffets with us, and we can talk the pros and cons, and we can all feel disgusting afterwards.
I think that'll be the meet and greet that people avoid, like the plague.
Oh, hey, Steven.
What's up?
Can we call it a meet and greet, but can we spell it MEAT?
Yes, and GR. No, I was gonna say that's great.
Okay, that was super lame. That was like the definition of like an embarrassing old person joke. Keep going. Do an interesting segue.
And I don't want to do an interesting segue. I just want to get into something with you real quick. So this is something that people have requested us talk about.
Okay.
Specifically people who knew us in college. Because there is a legend that goes along with this character, and that character is High School Steven.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know about High School Steven because I don't tell stories of High School Steven that often. And he's kind of this mystery wrapped in an enigma to a lot of people. And so I just thought, you know what? I've had enough people be like, you need to talk about that. You need to talk about that. That, you know what? Today, we're going to talk about that. And it's going to be interesting. So I've done a very Chris Grimmett thing, and I've split myself down by the 4 years of high school into the different phases of Steven.
Let's hear it. I'm ready.
All right. And so we're going to start with year one, which is probably the one that...
Wait, year one?
Yes, freshman year.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I forgot that we're talking about high school Steven for a second, and I was like, "Are we literally going back to?"
Yes, that's right. 1989. This will be the first year of my life.
This was my birth year.
Infancy to
the
year
birth
one.
year
Right.
of your Lord Jesus Stephen.
No, I would definitely be Stephen Christ, not Jesus.
Oh yeah, Stephen.
Come on,
Jesus, that was stupid. Sorry, keep going.
Come on,
Jesus
all right.
Pappas.
So freshman year was emo Stephen, and emo Stephen was more emo than you were. That's just a fact, and not you, Chris, specifically.
Oh,
I mean
I was
this
like,
to
I was
listeners.
like, I can guarantee that because I was the opposite of emo.
No, emo Steven was is the one that is probably the least spoken about because I literally have destroyed pictures.
I want to know that emo Steven so bad.
No, you don't. I mean, this kid.
I just want to cuddle that sweet little puppy up and just say, "Come here,
with
rest
his
in my
little
bosom, little emo Steven."
with his little red CD player and his backwards headphones because they were super cool at the time, walking around, jamming out to just straight up Hawthorne Heights and Simple Plan and My Chemical Romance.
Yes.
I mean, riding in the car next to my mother with the headphones turned up all the way, screaming about how parents don't understand and I'm all alone in the world and no one loves me. That was a great time for Steven. I dressed all in black. I had my big tongue skate shoes, even though I didn't skate, but I wanted everybody to think I did because that would fit the character. Mm-hmm. They were, so going head to toe, or toe to head, I guess. I had my big tongue Vans, all black, maybe a little red on there. Switched those out with Chuck Taylors from time to time, but I wore those even in college, so it's a little different. But then we're going, they didn't make skinny jeans for fat people. So we're talking cut off cargo shorts, also black.
And you're wearing that throughout winter too, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yes.
Cut off cargo
I
shorts.
Freaking love this picture that you're
also
painting
black.
for me.
Chain wallet, of course. Got that CD player skipping in my pocket every time I walk. And that cord is running off any band shirt that I could have bought at Hot Topic. Definitely, but I always went with the black one, of course. Mm-hmm. Or any sort of like weird Ed Hardy design.
Wait, Ed Hardy?
Time.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I mixed some of that in there because I thought that was what I needed to do.
But you're not like buying Ed Hardy, right?
No, these were just like it was just tattoo art stuff. It wasn't actually.
Gotcha. Okay,
but,
I was about to say,
yeah,
dang,
no.
emo Steven is like rolling in that dough.
No, God, no, can't afford that. And then there was a phase where I dyed my hair fire engine red. I grew it out. It was shaggy. At one point, it reached down to my shoulders just about. I was wearing like those big, thick, like 2 or 3 inch thick cotton wristbands that a lot of people wore because they had the unfortunate habit of self-mutilating. I just wore because I thought it was part of the get-up, but I didn't want to be too edgy, so it said like Jesus is my homeboy. Because I was that kid.
Can I just be clear that here's my stance on sophomore year, Steven.
That's freshman year, Steven.
Oh, that's still freshman?
Oh, we haven't moved on. No, yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I liked the first part of freshman year, Steven, better than this evolution that has come.
Yeah. Freshman year, Steven was the worst.
Freshman year, Steven, right now sounds like he was a Pokemon that evolved like 4 times in the same year.
Yeah, and I then I moved on to sophomore year, Steven.
Oh, let's go for it. I'm ready.
Now,
Sweet 16.
Sophomore year, I moved to a different school. And so I had the opportunity to reinvent myself completely. And this is what I would like to call the awkward phase. So this is awkward Steven. Which granted, I mean, in high school, we're all awkward all the time. But this is specifically awkward. So this is Steven had braces now.
Sorry, I shouldn't be enjoying this so much.
No, it's okay. Went in with my shoulder length hair and told them to take it all off to a 2, and so they buzzed it down to a 2.
Dang.
I did that over the summer, but then I didn't like it and I wanted to grow it back out. So for the majority of the beginning of sophomore year, I had that awkward like middle area where it's just like this weird little fro. And so it's me and that, a bunch of like plaid like button-ups, like short sleeve button-ups, open with like shirts on with sayings underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And those open over it, wearing some sort of like chain or dog tag, which I had no reason to wear on my neck.
Dog tags? Gosh.
I know. And wearing still my cargo shorts and obnoxious stuff. I got like really into country music for a hot second. Yet I still listened to like all my emo music because I still like felt like an emo kid deep in my heart. And yeah, that was bad year. I headed up the improv team at my high school.
That's cool. You got an improv team though.
Yeah, we put it together. It lasted 4 weeks before the chaperone was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this."
Gosh, I want to go back to the bad cowboy image. I like this.
Yeah, that's not something we need to think about. So then there's year 3. Junior year Steven is what I like to refer to as non-existent Steven.
Okay.
And this is the one where you have that one friend that all of a sudden is just nowhere to be found, and you're like, "Where'd they go?" I'll tell you where they went. I dated a girl for 2.5 years in high school. And so this was the point where I became like, this is the point where I became like super into her and she got into me and we were just like always together. And so like all my friends would just disappear.
Have me a blast.
Kind of like that, a little less Greasy Corners, but
okay.
Yeah, this was an interesting time. All my friends kind of lost touch with me. I kind of disappeared. I was basically either at her house at work or sleeping at home. This is when I spent a lot of my time, like I would wake up, I'd need to leave the house by 8 to get to school because I live 45 minutes away from school. So I'd wake up at 7:58, put pants on and like run out the door, say bye to my parents and like run out the door. And then like that was it. Like I slept in my clothes almost. Like I was just constantly like house, school, her house, work, house, school, her house, work, like every day. And I never saw any friends except over the summer. I don't know why. It just sucks, like looking back. And some really like intense stuff happened during that time, which Justin Evans, who was on our show last week, does a show called The Peripheral. And if you ever want to hear kind of my story in depth, because I didn't go in depth on the show and I don't really do it in the group because it's a long story of how I got to where I am with my mental illness. But if you ever want to hear the whole story laid out, my whole hour-long interview with him is on there. There was some kind of traumatic stuff that happened that year. And so, like, that's the Steven that, like, just didn't exist, nobody saw, which was really, like, that's the year that I look back on and I'm like, shoot, I wasted a year of high school. Just being
Sounds like junior
nobody.
Steven could also need to ask freshman Steven to make some room and come over and cuddle over by Papa Chris.
Yeah. No, I would have given anything
Steven.
to go back to freshman year. Yeah.
Come on, just make some room, Emo Steven.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You're going to want to cuddle him, but where is he? You can't find him. You can't find him for the cuddles. He just ghosted away.
I like it. Oh, my gosh. He's hanging out with Brody right now. We won't get into that. Keep going.
Ooh, no. Yeah, we cannot get into Brody today.
Okay, keep going.
So finally, and all my Dragon Ball Z fans out there will enjoy this. So like 2 people. Then we get into senior year, which I call High School Steven's Final Form.
Okay.
Which was closer to what I am now, but just like a hyper conservative version of me. Which
this is when I met you.
Right, but which, like, funny enough, looking back now, like, not getting political, but I'm pretty liberal. I'm pretty daggum liberal. So it was just like a very conservative version of me now. I kind of found my tribe, I guess, quote unquote, with the theater kids, which I'd been in drama club, but I started doing the productions and I started not really giving a shit what people thought of me and actually having fun and being funny. And like, to put it into perspective, you've heard of all the other years of Steven. Senior year Steven did things like this. So we had a principal, at my high school who was a wonderful human being. His name was Mr. Elrod, and he was a fantastic human being, but he had a very southern accent, and he would call people all the time on the automated phone system, and he would say, "Hello, parents. This is Stan Elrod, principal at Reagan High School. And I just want to let you know," and blah, blah, blah. And so we, as kind of an improv troupe, we used to riff on that all the time. "Hello, parents. This is Stan Elrod, principal at Reagan High School. I just want to let you know that we'll be reenacting D-Day on the football field on Thursday. The gunner's nest will be in the press box. I repeat, the gunner's nest will be in the press box." Because that's the kind of crazy stuff we did at our school. Like
I just like how even senior year Steven, like when doing like a prank is going to add some like nerdy history into it.
Oh yeah, but we used to riff all over the place. "Hello, parents. This is Stan Elrod, principal at Reagan High School. There is a live bear wandering the halls." Like
That's funny.
we had a lot of fun with it. But so we're getting ready to do senior day and awards day, like they call it at some school. Everybody had to write a poem, and they would pick the best poem, and that would be the senior poem. And so my teacher specifically says, "I don't want any sort of epic poems. Nobody needs to write the Odyssey." And something goes off in my head and goes, "Yes, you do." And so this is senior year, Steven. This is the type of stuff I did. So I wrote my little like sappy, crappy little, senior year poem like everybody else. But then in my notebook, I started jotting down the story of our principal. And we called it not the Odyssey, but the Elrodyssey. And
that sounds erotic. I don't know if that's what you're intending, but that's what it kind of sounds.
Not. His last name was Elrod. And so we wrote the Elrodyssey. And which now that I'm saying it more does sound erotic.
So all everyone needs to take away from this is that senior Steven liked to write erotic poetry about his principal.
No.
That's what I'm hearing.
It was the story about how he and the academic team, which was our only successful team because all our sports teams sucked, how he and the academic team rose up and saved us from mediocrity. But I need you to know that it didn't just end there. One of my friends grabs my notebook. They're laughing. So what happens? The teacher comes and grabs it. And she starts reading it. And she kind of snickers to herself. And she goes, "All right, I have to keep this." I was like, "Excuse me?" She's like, I have to show the principal this, right?" And I'm like, "Well, crap. I'm not going to walk on graduation day." She goes, I just need to show him this. We need to see what he thinks." And I was like, "Come on, really?" She's like, "Yeah." So she comes back the next day, and, I walk into class, and she goes, "Steven, come here." I'm like, "Okay." And she calls me over. She goes, "So I showed your poem to Principal Elrod." And I was like, "Oh, my God. Is my degree going to get, taken away? Am I not going to get my diploma? What happens?" And she goes, "He laughed so hard, and he would like you and 4 of your friends to do a dramatic reading of it at graduation."
Jeez.
And I think we ended up doing it at awards day instead, but it was one of the more ridiculous things I think that's ever happened in my life. And so very different, very big evolution from freshman year emo Steven over there cuddling Chris and screaming about how parents don't care, all the way to this weird, goofy senior that wrote an epic poem about a high school principal.
Senior year Steven was like a bad boy.
Was he? I don't think it was. It wasn't. I mean, it was poking fun at the principal, but there's actually
still you got a little bit of sass in you. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of feeling. I'm really more wanting to dive deeper into this sweet little cowboy Steven. That one seems more sensitive more sensitive and sweet than the bad boy over here. Goodness, you're over here in the straight up the what is it, The Outsiders? That was the book from with
yes.
Pony Boy and everything. You got the slick back hair and the leather jacket, and you're just like, I don't care. I just want to cuddle with that sweet baby Toby Keith Steven.
Oh, no,
Toby.
never, ever relate me to Toby Keith.
Toby Pappas or Stephen Keith? Which one would that be?
No, neither of those. Neither of those, please.
Stephen,
please, dear God.
Toby Keith's son, Stephen Keith. That's what the title is going to be called.
No,
for this podcast.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. But I do need you to know that there is, to this day, a copy of the El Odyssey in the trophy case at my high school.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So that
what
is
a
the
bad
weird,
boy.
That's the weird story of high school Steven. The last 2 years weren't as eventful, but the first 2 years are really what people needed to know about. They needed to know about the emo Steven, which I've got tons of stories about that, but they really also needed to know about awkward, weird, country braces Afro Steven.
Country braces Afro Steven. I can't even... That's amazing. I love it. I love it.
I hope you love it. Well, that's good. Well, I think after all of the mental strain that we just put each other through with the heavy discussion of buffets and all that, I think we should probably start winding down. How about you?
Sure.
I've never heard any... Yeah, let's do that.
Just being supportive over here.
It's all right. I appreciate your support. Speaking of support, if you'd like to send us a topic for discussion or a mental health check-in, you set me up for it, or you have anything else on your mind, you can send that to us over at isthisadultingpod@gmail.com.
Gosh. I'm just going to ask you to follow us on social media so you don't have to listen to this anymore. Follow us over on Twitter at isthisunderscoreadulting. You can find us on Facebook. We have a page, but also please, you can join our Facebook group. It's the Is This Adulting Best Friends. And it's a place where if you want to introduce yourself and share when you're having a bad day or things you're struggling with, there are people there for you for that. But it's not just for that. It's to put random videos up or just share clickbait or whatever it might be. So it's just a fun environment to be able to kind of get to know other people who are listening around the country and also around the world. Also, don't forget to subscribe and rate and review us on iTunes. That is how other people are able to find out about it. And the more people that find out, the better. It's going to be good for us and for you.
Absolutely. And just to give you guys a little kind of peek behind the curtain, our goal now, I know we've had guests for the last 3 weeks. Our goal at this point is to do one episode with a guest and then one episode just the two of us and just trade off back and forth every other week. That way we're staying true to the format, but we're also getting to have fun with a lot of really cool people.
Yeah.
So we are currently entirely listener supported. So if you like what you hear, consider clicking on over to the Support the Show tab on our website, which is isthisadultingpod.com. We have tons of cool rewards on Patreon, exclusive content, much more that you'll receive in return for your support, coloring pages by me. I know you want that. Just all sorts of things. And we've been also starting to receive some stuff in the mail. I don't know if I mentioned that on the podcast. I may have mentioned that a couple weeks ago.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. Yeah, we have a P.O. box now because people had expressed interest in sending us things. So we are P.O. Box. You can address things to us if you want to send them. It's Is This Adulting, P.O. Box 1441, Matthews, North Carolina, 28106. And that is also on the Contact Us tab on our website. So you can check it out there. And we got a cool postcard from Kathy in San Antonio. So thanks for that, Kathy.
Thanks, Kathy. That was awesome.
I love snail mail, so I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited. People have already told me they're sending us stuff, so that's super cool to see this community kind of forming. We would like to thank the collection for the use of our theme music, The Borrowers, off their album Ars Moriendi. That's going to do it for us here on this kind of crazy episode of Is This Adulting this week. I've been your best friend, Steven.
And I've been your best friend, Chris.
And remember, kids, be happy, stay healthy, and go hug someone.
Because you never know. You may have just stopped them from sneezing in the buffet, and that makes you an American hero.
Yes, it does. I'm hearing like Hulk Hogan's theme music behind them of just, I am a real American.
Electric guitar solos, everything. People are going to give you a standing slow clap ovation, all of it. So go and hug them, / grab them so they're not sneezing in the food.
Please do that.
I'm not really promoting grabbing as much as I am hugging. So
yes, hugging is better.
I'm going to awkwardly moonwalk out of here. So
right,
bye.
Have a good week.
What's the podcast? Play me a podcast. Hey guys, it's TJ from the Pipes and Puzzles podcast. We explore some of the strange, unusual, and often obscure cases throughout history. Oh, and did I mention there's craft beer reviews? Come give us a listen on iTunes or your podcast app of choice.
Other show's best.